Jona, Q1 of 2022 is in the books, and it's been a very exciting first 3 months of the year. Blockchain Brawlers released last week. It seems like both Play to Earn and Art is doing very well on Wax.
Yeah, it is, and it's I don't know, kind of crazy that it's already 3 months over of this year. It just feels like it only just started, but yeah, lot of things going on. And yeah, as you say, blockchain brawlers, obviously, seeing the Wax team or the Wax Studios team, release their first game looks pretty cool. I think what they're doing is very promising, and also indicative of what can be in the space. I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's I'm in their ambassador chat on their Discord and seeing what's going to come up for blockchain brawlers in particular has me very excited for the space. So, what have we been working on this week?
So we've been working on sort of social profile integration. Talked about this in the last few AMAs. We're almost done there. Made actually some more performance improvements. Already last week we made some performance improvements, even more now. So that's cool. And then we're now sort of starting the implementation of both our trading redesign and the Explorer redesign, both of which look really good. I think people are going to like it. I hope, at least. I myself certainly do. So yeah, we've more or less finished the design there and are starting the implementation now.
Fantastic. As you've said, we've been having a look at some of those designs throughout the week, and they do look brilliant. So yeah, I hope the community really likes those. A few questions from the community. So a few people have noticed we've changed the option to blacklist a collection to hide collection. Can we kind of explain why that was the case and what our plans are with that?
Yeah, sure. It just seemed like sort of a better word because the reasoning there is just if you as a user perhaps don't like a particular collection, or you just want to look for something else, you just don't want to see it for a while, you can now hide it, and we're integrating this properly in sort of the settings where you can easily remove it again from this hide or hidden status. Yeah, I mean, that just seems like a more appropriate term. So the properly blacklisted collections, so like fake collections, for example, that are blacklisted by us, those still are called blacklisted, of course, because that sort of gets the point across better. But then for you, as on a personal level, you can now just hide collections, which sounds less extreme because it really isn't supposed to be that extreme. It's just a personal setting.
For sure. And then, of course, as you said, having the option for users to then remove collections from that list as well gives them more freedom. So that's cool to see. We've spoken a couple of times in the last few weeks about adding social icons onto the site. Are there any updates of note on that front?
Yeah, so we're actually testing that now internally. So it's almost ready. There's a couple of things still missing. It's actually surprisingly difficult to get approved by all these social platforms, by like YouTube, Facebook, so on. Getting approved by them to be allowed to use this feature is harder than you might expect. But we're sort of finishing that up now.
Awesome. And the final question for the community is regarding wishlists. So we've had this option for a while to add particular NFTs to the wishlist. What are our plans for that feature?
Yeah, so I mean, what it has been so far is pretty much just sort of a small list to save some NFTs or something that you wanted to keep in mind, but without much functionality. And we want to integrate this properly into the trading functionality, where you then might be able to find these NFTs more easily, even get recommended trade partners that might have these NFTs. And then also with the notification system, which is still in the works, of course, but also potentially integrating that there, where you might be able to get price alerts for particular NFTs that are on your wish list. So yeah, we're taking this from being a relatively dumb just like feature that just stores some NFTs or some data for you, and turning it into a very well integrated part of a couple of systems.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. And I think that feature would be really great for tracking particular NFTs, particularly me at the moment. I'm trying to track the prices of about 16 different blockchain brawlers NFTs. So I think that would be very, very helpful for me, at least. I'm sure it will be for the rest of the community as well. Jona, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next week.
Thank you. Yeah, see you next week.